For 6 years, the Times Now Summit has gone beyond capturing India's rise. It has helped shape what comes next. As Times Now marks 20 years of credible, accountable journalism, the focus is not just on the journey so far, but on the road ahead. Because today, India is not just rising, it is leading. From digital innovation to global influence, the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 is already taking shape. And the question now is clear. Not whether India will rise, but how it will lead. At the Times Now Summit, the country's most influential voices come together to define that path. And that brings us to this year's theme, celebrating Times Now at 20, shaping India at 100. In this episode, watch the exclusive conversation with founder and MD of ZingHR, Prasad Rajappan, where he answers the most pertinent question of this age: can AI do your job? Take a look.
Well, technology has always been a catalyst when it comes for change. And while it has seemed to threaten livelihoods, it has only created more jobs, Hina. However, today, AI is embedded in how business operates and how decisions are going to be made. And it is writing code, analyzing data, handling customer interactions, and even shaping strategy with deeply human activities as well.
Absolutely, Meghna. And this shift is redefining productivity across industries and creating uncertainty about the role of the human workforce in the future. In this session, ladies and gentlemen, we will address the question that is on everyone's minds these days. Will AI take away our jobs? Though it can't take away our job.
Well, hopefully not, Hina. But to explore more on this, please join us in welcoming the founder and MD of ZingHR, Mr. Prasad Rajappan. He's going to be in a fireside chat on Can AI Do Your Job? Well, he's going to be in conversation with Senior News Editor, Times Network, Sumit Lakhotia.
Over to you, Sumit.
Thank you, Meghna, and thank you, Hina. Prasad, thank you so much for taking out time to chat with us today. It's an exciting topic because, well, AI is everywhere. And everywhere is AI nowadays. And can AI do your job? Like Hina and Meghna said, hopefully not my job, but let's see what happens in the future. But on a serious note, to get started with this conversation, there are different studies, and somewhere say between 30 to 40% of current jobs that are already being automated with existing AI. Now, do you feel it's overestimated when we say, can AI do my job? Or are we underestimating what human work actually consists of?
Hey, thank you first, and congratulations to Times Now for this 20th anniversary. I think the question was, are we underestimating or overestimating? My guess is we all guesstimating. I think there are enough stories, people who are not even understood AI trying to say that AI will eat away all jobs. I think we're in the speculation stage now. People say coders will go, call centers will go up. I think the way it is now happening is we are now trying to understand what is going to be the real impact. Okay? And is it going to be impact? 100% yes. Is it going to change life for all of us? 100% yes. So I think we are, like I said, there are enough people who have been guesstimating or speculating, and there are enough people who are trying to see how is life going to change. And I think I'd like to differentiate between those two people. And of course, the media and the investors also have their own game to say what AI is going to do. Of course, a lot of valuation of AI companies are dependent on that. But having said that, is AI going to fundamentally change the way we work? Of course, yes, it will do.
I mean, which is true, because already it's being making its impact felt in all different sectors. If we go down history lane, Prasad, all the big revolutions, whether it was the Industrial Revolution and then the dot-com bubble or the tech revolution, so to say, people were worried that it would take away jobs, but it ended up creating more jobs than maybe the ones that it destroyed. The difference is that AI is already doing that cognitive work, which people would have been doing. Do you think it's
going to repeat the same story where earlier people were afraid and then things sorted out?
I think partly is yes. I think some of the generations sitting here, when automation came or computerization came 30 years back, people say people in bank will lose their jobs. And it did. When people used to go to write passbooks and all. But then today the bank people are now selling equity, they are doing insurance and all. So change has changed. But there's a fundamental difference between that automation and AI.
Yeah.
Because AI has taken up the cognitive part of it. No longer I can say I've been working for 30 years, so my wisdom is there, because the wisdom of all millions of brains is put into AI. So there's a fundamental shift there. But I think humankind is intelligent enough to find ways. I think from the Stone Age to here, we have always found automation happening, but we'll find ways to do things more than us. Okay, whether if we can, like people saying, and people only talking of coding right now.
Yeah.
Okay, but just imagine manufacturing, farming. Has it taken a lot of lives of farmers? No, they've enriched it. I know for Mahindra and Mahindra, there are hardly 5 people in a factory. No one. So no one is talking about that. AI, of course, intellectual jobs will change, but I think I'm sure humankind will find solutions for that.
So if like you said, yes, there are some young faces also here, but if for the people here and those that are watching us, for somebody who's in the 25, 28 years...
You're referring to me.
Exactly.
Okay.
I thought you were in your early 20s, but okay. So somebody who's in the 25 or 28-year-olds, would AI be augmenting their career, replacing it? How would you be talking to these guys?
I think to my mind, this is the best time for youngsters who are coming into the company. They are working. You know why? Because they no longer are going to be stereotyped that I've done science, or I've done commerce, or I've done IT, or I've done civil engineering. They now have the option of changing or mixing couple of domains. Okay?
Right.
I think I've seen somebody working on science and now able to do something in arts together. So AI is now helping to transgress between various functions. We always used to say we used to have left brain and right brain. AI has diminished that balance, whether you're a left brain guy or a right brain guy. You can now, the brain of the AI, and use it to yourself. To my mind, youngsters today, I'll tell you what, many of the people are thinking nothing is going to happen to me, or many of the people are scared. I would suggest all the youngsters, look at this as an opportunity, rediscover professions, rediscover and redefine professions for yourself. And in that, if you can do, I think it's a wonderful stage to have.
So that's fantastic, because would that mean that at one point of time in history, it was if you were a specialist, you got maybe more money, or you got extra credit, you were looked up to more. But is this now about being a generalist who had enough knowledge in 3-4 sectors, as opposed to a generalist who's a master in one sector?
I think good question, because a lot of people are asking, I'm going to be a generalist. I know. I think the type of thing will change. For example, today, prompt engineering. People are saying the one who runs AI, how to handle AI, is a profession by itself. Now, today, I think the most common example, maybe 5 months back, was ChatGPT. Everyone used to put data in ChatGPT. To the extent, any mail comes to me, I used to be doubting whether the person has written or ChatGPT has written. I'll give you an example. I was once sick, and I got a lovely mail from one of my customers with some wonderful, how good person you are and all. And next day he met me, and there was no reflection of the earlier communication. I was very sure that he must have asked ChatGPT to do those things. So the danger there is now you are going to lose, but I think this will go away. This will go away. This will be there for some time where people understand the reality of doing that. So question is, profession it's going to be laser focused now. I think we will, like in the armed forces, there's something called fog of war. We don't know, there's a fog and there's a war, we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I think there's a fog of AI now. It's time that we'll find answers. For that, we'll have to wade through that fog. We can wait for the fog to pass away, it will not. Because the fog is going to continue. The only option you have is to wade through the fog, find your own path, and create more path. No longer you are waiting for some seniors to draw the path for you. You can make your own path. That's the advantage.
Prasad, like we said earlier, AI is kind of permeated into every aspect of almost every job. It is being used in HR as well, which is where I want to bring you in. Because in boardrooms, the discussion has moved from just plain simple cost cutting. People realize that, okay, cost cutting is one thing, but more important is value creation. With the launch of growth, you've talked about turning HCM into a profit driver. So can you elaborate a little bit on that? Can you tell me how AI is helping drive the insights that people get and just helping move the EBITDA needle as well as providing the much needed value?
I think HR have been, there are two sets of organization. One is HR is very mature and they are almost like walking in hand in hand with the CEO or the CFO. And there's other set of organizations where people build HR means payroll and compliance and those part of the quantitative part of HR. Today what is happening is, if you see the most progressive HR heads are people who understand business. Even not just because of AI, even otherwise. We are writing a book on CHRs who have become CEOs. There are more than 50 CHRs who become CEOs. Okay, and that trait is people used to have. Now, what is AI helping is now to say, and I'm telling you, I'm not saying I'm predicting, but I'm saying next couple of quarters, you'll see the boundary between functions diminishing. A CHRO, CFO, CTO, auditor, I think the boundaries will blur. So what we have done, for example, we have launched something called the Strategic Command Center. And we call growth with H in the thing. We are saying each function who understands business, today there are tools who can make it happen. So in the Strategic Command Center, what we have done, we have taken the HR data, finance data, Salesforce data, operations data, and treasury data, and now AI is now able to give insights what is right and what is not wrong. Not only that, AI is also giving benchmarks. Okay, so for example, I run it for our company and say this is a benchmark of cost of acquisition for customers, or what is the age between or your attritions. Can it predict attritions? What is the benchmark in the industry? So all those knowledge is now being brought, and now HR can really talk to the as saying, can I look at EBITDA margins? Can I look at the profitability? Can I look at the productivity? Today HR is talking finance language, HR is talking IT language, and successful HR people are going to talk business language. So for us, I think, like people say it's a chief people officer, we say it's a chief purpose officer. Lovely. Chief purpose officer who can really understand the purpose of the organization and make it happen.
Well, that's lovely. So HR is moving away from just being a master, or rather it's becoming a master in multiple areas, being able to, I would say, being able to translate the needs of finance.
Can I just add something here? See, HR or any function, whether finance, HR, always been complaining that I don't get time for strategy. I'm so tied up in transactions, be it appraisals, be it compliance, be it payroll. This is a golden time. Those things have just gone off. For example, we launched something called zero-touch payroll and attendance. We eliminated payroll processing. You don't have to process payroll. It gives you a daily payroll and almost gives you a daily, Indian system is to be Partha system. We have launched something like that. We have done real-time appraisals. We have done recruitment, almost 70% work gone. So this is a golden era for HR now to say, because if you are really sincere saying that I can't do strategy because I was busy with tactical things, here's a golden period. You remove the transaction part. Now focus on organizational growth. Focus on culture. Focus on succession planning. Focus on how I can improve the market share in each area.
Right. So, Prasad, with ZingHR, of course, you're seeing a wide cross-section of Indian companies from across industries. How many of those are using AI in a proper sense, and how many of them do you think are just in the foremost space?
You make me answer something which will create a lot of heartburns there. But to my extent, there are 100% people are aware of AI. Let me tell you, 100% of the people are aware.
Yeah.
80% of the people are still in the discovery stage. I think 40% of the people are really nearing to how to achieve AI for the growth. But I won't say more than 10% have really achieved what AI can do. See, people are talking in isolation. People are, and what is the one risk we are having? We are using AI for activities which were never anywhere required. Okay? So my suggestion is look at the operations, remove those activities which were anyway not required, then put AI. Okay? Like I was saying, can I manage a support center? I said, if you are making a product which doesn't require support, focus on that. Rather than saying, I'm going to give support. It's almost saying, I'm going to buy a brand new Mercedes, but I'm also going to give a mechanic along with that. So I think if we can all focus on value creation and then use AI, I think we can have a huge competitive advantage.
I just want to play a bit of a devil's advocate, and I want to take a little step back to our earlier conversation more on AI. Like we know, AI is replacing some of the entry-level jobs. From an HR perspective, what would be the long-term impact of that? Where I'm coming from is today's CEOs were yesterday's managers. Yesterday's managers were day before's assistants, and day before's assistants were the day before that interns. They've come up the ladder. They've had a roadmap. How that roadmap is changing. How do you see the impact of this in the way ahead?
Let us go back, step back. During when we were small and school going, our information was very less. Today's kids know everything on the internet. They know more than us. So same thing, the growth of evolution of a person from a management trainee to a junior manager to manager, I think is going to skip some generations. Okay? And even the people at the senior management, if they're going to say that I've been here for 25 years and respect me, I think that's not going to happen. So I see a lot of age not being or domain not being a criteria for your growth. How you use, and let us not say AI is not the purpose, it's just a means. Okay, right. So I think there's a huge potential. You are seeing there are a lot of startups, 5-people company. They're creating agents. They're creating agents for work as a CFO, CEO, and CTO, and CMO run. Is it going to last? I think, like I said, the fog will move on. I think in the next 5-6 months, we'll be able to find out what will happen. So these generational gap will reduce, definitely reduce. And you'll find a lot of people coming up there. So like I was telling, like I used to say, I have spent 30 years, so I know more. But when I put into a Claude or I think they know more than me. I can't fight that. I can't fight that. I can use wow, good. I don't want to work for 30 years to have those wisdom. Right. Let me use it now and move. So youngsters can use that very, very well. Yeah?
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Prasad, for all the time, for all the conversation, and for sharing these valuable insights into this important topic. I feel, well, it's too early. AI is not going to take our jobs, but yes, we need to be aware and use it better.
One more thing I've seen for people keep on giving the discourse that AI is going to take jobs, but not my job, somebody else's job. That is a problem. Everyone believes it's not going to impact me, but it will impact others. That's a foolish paradigm we are all having. Yeah. We have to look at how our job is going to change. Okay? Even during computerization, people who fought that are redundant. Yeah. People who are used have grown. Absolutely. So I think we will have to look at how do I look at my job. Even for a finance, like as a CEO, I run now queries and get my financial data. Okay? I get my marketing data there. So unless you use it, you will be a stranger to AI.
Fantastic. So use it and use it to build your skills and build your expertise. Thank you so much, Prasad.
Hey, thank you.